everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Fourtress of, a podcast about movies and TV shows and video games and lots of pop culture nerd things. My name is Oscar. I'll be one of your hosts today. And with me, per usual, is Brian.
Why do you say it like that?
No, it's like I was about to announce like The Rock, a big wrestling superstar, and it's just like, Brian.
Dun, 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 dun. Then I just run out with like a metal chair. Just instantly start hitting people for no reason.
Right. How you doing, man?
I'm doing well. It's me. I'm here. Just me. Everyone else hates us.
Everyone else.
The podcast is actually the Fourtress of now. We've lowered.
This is the start of a spinoff. Yeah, it is just me and Brian. Devin and Alex going to be here this week, but hopefully we'll see them next week or next week. But we're here, and that's what's important. So with that, should we get into the news of the week,
Let's
sir?
do it.
News talk.
Boom.
Stuff happened.
Stuff did happen, dude. And fucking breaking news right this very morning. Kingdom Hearts 4 was fucking announced, man. And I've got some things to say.
I was not expecting, first of all, I haven't finished or played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, so I don't really know how it ends or knows like how the timeline would work for any of this. Also, I didn't expect another game to ever come out. I thought this was it, and it could be open-ended or not, but it doesn't matter because the last game came out in 2005. Yep. So announcing a new game right after one release, a year or two ago, seems special.
This game's not going to come out till the PlayStation 8.
And that's what kind of scares me. It's like they show gameplay, quote unquote gameplay.
Right.
And I'm like, y'all already that far? That quick? But it took y'all 27 years to make the last one?
Right. Yeah. Even in this, they say that it's in early development, which is like, what does that mean exactly?
We'll see you 2028. Sounds good.
We'll see you in 4 to 5 years. Yeah. But I guess the biggest thing, they announced some other stuff we'll talk about in a second, but as far as Kingdom Hearts 4, yeah, it's crazy that they announced it, but the biggest thing is they've gone with this more realistic art style, like the more recent Final Fantasy games, which I'm not crazy about. Just based off Sora's face, I'm like, it's weird. Uncanny valleyness almost.
I mean, you remember what the original game looks like with that dude's goofy ass fucking face? This was shipped as a game about being Disney Pixar.
Exactly.
Imagine Land with some Final Fantasy characters. And now this motherfucker is running down the business district of Japan.
Now it seems more Final Fantasy than Disney. Yeah.
Right. Which, I mean, that I would honestly prefer if they just went full Final Fantasy and honestly maybe just keep Donald Goofy because whatever. Just drop everything else. I don't want to go to these planets anymore. I just want to find out the weird shit that's going on outside of that. But yeah, they took away the man's ridiculously goofy sized shoes, and he's got just a normal Japanese man face.
He looks like a J-pop star now.
Right. I don't know, because I mean, Final Fantasy 15 is apparently an amazing game. I haven't played it yet, but I love Final Fantasy and Square Enix's like art style when it's, I don't know, a little bit more fluid and cartoonish and interesting.
Like Final Fantasy 7 still doesn't look too realistic.
Right.
Final Fantasy 7, the remake, I mean, like still for like based on the trailers and the cutscenes, still looks like a normal game. Not like, I guess like in a sense of art style, it doesn't look too realistic, sort of.
It's hard to explain because it's like they're still humans and they look like very good humans and stuff like that. But there's something about the style choice that they do with games like Final Fantasy VII that seems to be a little bit lost lately.
They look like anime characters still.
Right.
I guess is the best way to put it, sort of, for me at least. But yeah, so I don't know. It'll definitely be something getting used to. But I do have a theory because I'm not going to spoil anything because I have played Kingdom Hearts. So based on where Sora was in this little teaser, I'm not surprised where he was because, and so I would want to know, based off of this, I wonder if maybe he only looks this way in this weird world he is, which I think they called in the trailer. This is, what's it called?
Tokyo, Japan.
Basically. The world's called Quadratum, which it's just Tokyo, Japan, but yeah, whatever. So I do wonder if this is like he'll only look this way in his world, a la like he does like change forms kind of when he enters different worlds in the Kingdom Hearts games. But I wonder if this is just a form. And because yeah, it looks weird.
Yeah, that's interesting. Donald and Goofy are in the depths of hell. I'm not sure what's
Yeah.
going on there.
I'm glad they're still in the game though. I'm glad that that's like as much as we were saying I cut out the Disney stuff, but I think that's what makes Kingdom Hearts special is having that little bit of Disney because it is kind of cool saying these Disney characters be badasses from now
Yeah,
and
I
then,
don't know if you know, but based on Final Fantasy lore, Donald is the strongest mage to ever exist in Final Fantasy canon.
Are you serious?
Because I'd watched a video about it recently. Like I said, I haven't played Kingdom Hearts 3 yet, but there's a point where he uses a Zeta Flare, which is like 100,000, like 1,000 times stronger than the flare that anyone's ever used.
That's amazing.
In Final Fantasy. So he is canonically the strongest Final Fantasy character to ever exist, or at least mage to ever exist.
That's so
to put
awesome.
it in like in terms of scaling when it comes to power level is one of the like Aeon's Bahamut. He uses I think a Terra Flare or something like that. Maybe he uses Zeta Flare and then Donald uses Terra Flare. I don't know. One of them uses a flare and he's 100 times stronger. Donald's 100 times stronger than that character, and that was like a final boss character.
Holy fuck!
So
that's amazing.
So that's why he has to stay in the game.
That's dope as hell.
All those times that he wasn't healing you, it's because he was just learning to be the best bitch on
earth. He was saving up. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, I'm glad they're still in the game, and I'm glad they still look normal. I don't know who it is they're teasing at the end there. I was trying to think back on anything I could pull from Disney lore of who a blue flame would represent, but I was like, I don't know, some weird magician. I don't know.
Right. I feel like we've tapped so many things. I assume Star Wars is going to be in this now.
Oh, you think?
Now that they're doing more realistic approach as well, I think they can do it and actually be cool.
That's true.
Also,
that is a good point.
I was reading that, of course, EA's contract has ended to be the only people to make Star Wars games now.
Right.
So that opens up them to have a little bit more possibility without having to work through all of that nonsense in order to make Star Wars property stuff. So
I mean, they would easily fit like Sora's Keyblade could easily turn into a lightsaber. It fits perfectly in that world. So absolutely,
give him a double bladed.
That would be amazing.
Don't be a coward.
That would be dope. And then if they're doing that, then you could easily put a Marvel thing in there as well.
Yep, that's true.
Absolutely.
As well. I wonder if that'll be weird though, because it's been so cartoony to this point, and now it's going to be like all of the most harsh properties.
Yeah, I hope not. That would be very weird though. But in that other teaser, I will say there is a character. There's a girl who Sora encounters at the door. Her name is Strelitzia. She was introduced in the mobile game.
Spell that for me. Strelitzia?
That's how it looks like it's pronounced. She's in a mobile game, so you don't hear them say her name ever. So I'm not 100% sure, but it's spelled Strelitzia.
Whew.
Yeah.
That word is not in the Bible. Oh my god! All I see is a picture of her. Is like, oh god, it looks so weird because she's a chibi character in the mobile game.
Yeah,
and now she's just a small Asian woman in this one.
Yep, it's
so once
odd.
again they're doing the thing where you have to know all the properties of Kingdom Hearts to understand anything that ever happens ever.
I have played that mobile game, and even I'm like, I need a refresher, and it's still very weird and confusing.
I will watch someone do a synopsis on it. I refuse to play that game. It did not look fun to me.
It's not very fun. I was just pushing through to see the story. Yeah, so she's kind of important in that game. So it's interesting seeing her in this. And yeah, I do hope that they kind of help other people figure out who the fuck she is.
She was a member of the Dandelions and was chosen by the Master of the Master. What does any of this mean? Who are the Dandelions? What is I love and hate this property so much because it makes no fucking sense.
It's pretty bonkers.
It's so
pretty
convoluted
weird.
For what reason?
Nothing at all.
The Dandelions is one sentence of text on this wiki page. That's how useless that information is.
They're basically the chosen ones, but also it's weird. It's very odd.
I didn't know they had fucking gang violence going on in the Kingdom Hearts world.
Yeah.
Got the fucking Dandelions.
Yeah.
Bootstraps coming out.
So that, and then also they announced another like a mobile game separate from that one, which is Kingdom Hearts Missing Link. It looks great, surprisingly, for a mobile game. It looks fun. It takes place in a city that is in Kingdom Hearts 3. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
From what you watched of it, does it seem like it like ties in with Kingdom Hearts 3 at all? Does it seem like it's a fairly separate story?
It really seems fairly separate. The
Mm,
location, it looks like it's probably just gonna give you more lore on that location because that
mm.
location you don't get much lore of in Kingdom Hearts 3. So they're probably just gonna expand on that in this. Which is interesting, but ultimately it's like, yeah. I don't know how much it'll add to the actual story of Kingdom Hearts 3 or 4. But when have any of their iOS and mobile games like, it's always like one little nugget.
Yeah, I kind of hope they let me play it on PC or something instead of just my phone. So first of all, that's just gonna blow that shit up. And if they're
Mhm.
going, we were talking about off air about it being kind of like maybe a Genshin Impact kind of situation, because like the game is really good looking for no reason, and it's probably gonna blow up my battery.
Right.
I'm interested in
Yeah.
playing it. It looks like it could be fun. I don't know. We'll see how
Yeah.
the control scheme works. If it feels good to play.
That's my biggest thing with mobile games is that swiping on a phone for games like that becomes really annoying if it's not
Right.
well done. I've
Yeah.
hardly encountered a game that's fun to do that on.
They've been trying to make like bigger, beefier games. I remember that Elder Scrolls Blades game came out and stuff like that. It just felt clunky. It just made me want to
Yeah.
get it on PC. I'm pretty sure I did at one point. I got a mod on PC so I can just play it like a normal ass game.
Oh, that's
Um,
funny.
because it just yeah, like it doesn't feel good. I don't want to play something like that.
Yeah, no. But yeah, man, Kingdom Hearts 4, who would have fucking thought they did it on their 20th anniversary? I can't believe that. I knew that they were going to make another one, most likely,
Mhm.
but I did not think that it would be this fast.
Right, right.
So it's
Is this
cool.
the same? Square Enix still makes this, right? How many people work at Square Enix?
Man, it seems like they got a lot of studios.
Y'all need to finish Final Fantasy VII remake, bro. Y'all ain't got time to be working on this.
That's fair.
you,
That's
you can
fair.
still let this simmer for another 5 years. We're going Final Fantasy. That's what we want.
Right.
No, it's fine.
Yeah.
Make a game.
We're gonna be getting Final Fantasy VII remakes part 8 to 10, while Kingdom Hearts part 4 to 15 comes out.
Right. And they're still making Final Fantasy 16 right now. I've been seeing footage about that. So, like, come on, man.
And they just put out that Final Fantasy Origins game. Like
Yep.
they put shit out, dude.
That must be a really big development team.
Maybe. Yeah. But next, we'll stick with video games since we've been talking about that. It looks like Remedy and Rockstar Games, they are remaking Max Payne 1 and 2. They're gonna remake it. I never played this, but I've always wanted to. I missed the ball basically. But I know you played them and you like them.
Yeah, it was one of like the first games that I played on PC for some reason. I don't know why we got this on PC. It might have no, it had to come on other systems. I don't know. We had it on PC.
Mm,
These games are amazing. I didn't play after 2, so I don't know what was it like 3 and 4 after that, something like that. At least 3. But no, they're really good games. I'm excited because maybe that'll mean that Rockstar will start touching more of his other properties and remaster some of those things, maybe make some new ones.
right.
Um, it's the Skyrim kind of situation where it's like we've gotten Grand Theft Auto 18,000 times, we've gotten Skyrim 18,000 times. Y'all made other games.
Yeah.
Like, if you want to get
Right.
easy money, remaster those games, remake those
Right.
games. Don't
Right.
stop
I mean, I think
feeding me.
I think I have more faith in this, considering Remedy is the one that's actually developing it, and Rockstar's just
putting
financing it.
putting money to it. Yeah,
Because we clearly saw what Rockstar did with the GTA trilogy, and it was just like, this is not a remake that everyone wanted.
it wasn't really a remake. It sounds like this is
No.
probably gonna be close to a remake, akin to like what they're doing with Knights of the Republic right now. So that's what I'm
Right.
hoping. If they're doing
Yeah.
something like that, that'll be great. They better keep bullet time in.
Oh, they have to. Yeah. Come
I
on.
wonder if they'll. So the storytelling uses like a comic book kind of like form to it. So I wonder if they're still going to do something like that. If they're going to try to do some like whole cut scenes instead. I kind of hope they keep the part of this game that's interesting is it's like style choice. It's very stylistic in the way that it works.
Right.
So I don't know. I don't know
Yeah,
what I
that's
would like
interesting.
more. Just don't make it generic.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder how much because I remember Rockstar did that Max Payne 3 a couple years ago when and that was like a pretty realistic tone and look to it. But since it's
Hmm.
not, I wonder if they're gonna just kind of copy that look and with these two, or keep it what it was in those when they first came out. That's
Yeah,
interesting though.
we'll see. I'll play it. Maybe don't make it
Yeah,
$60, $70, whatever games cost now. They probably
it'll be
will.
$60 because it's two of them. I bet. I'm telling.
Damn it. No, they deserve money. It's fine.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, we got to talk about Will Smith again real quick because some more shit did happen. He was banned from the Oscars ceremony for a whole decade, which I was not expecting. I was expecting a year or two.
Right. I figured he wouldn't get to go to the next one. And that was going to be the end.
Yeah, but also this has not this just means he can't go to the ceremony or any of its the academy's like programs or activities. He can still be nominated and still win. So to me, it's like that's not a big deal because how many Oscars in the past 10 years has Will Smith gone to anyway?
Right. I did think about that a little critically of like, oh no, I don't have to go to this ceremony that's probably kind of boring. Like, damn it, no.
I can just accept my award from home now.
Right. It's like getting suspended for not going to school. It's like
right.
I already wasn't coming. Like
right. Exactly. Yeah. So I mean, it's they did what they felt like they needed to do. It's whatever.
Yeah. It's just interesting to me that this is the time that they're feeling they need to pick up their sword. And not and I know of course it happened at the Academy Awards.
That's the biggest thing.
The biggest thing, sure. I don't know. It still doesn't quite sit right with me. Just knowing a lot of the stuff that's happened throughout the awards, knowing the awards itself, knowing the amount of people of color that have gotten awards, not gotten awards in decades already, even though it's 2022. I kind of wish we would just cancel the Academy Awards as a whole, personally. I know maybe that's a hot take, but I think that shit it needs to be put to the ground and reborn as something else at this point because it's not feeling as prestigious as it is racist.
Right. I think they just kind of need to rebrand and try to do, I don't know, do something different. I don't know. I just, even though Justice League won that little Twitter award, I think the Twitter awards is a weird thing to do. Award.
I mean, they got Black Panther nominated and stuff like that. And it's like, oh, a little win. But it's like,
right.
You just want people to watch your shit is what it comes down to. Because it's not a secret that they haven't been doing well. And like I said, I still am stuck on the point that if no one had said anything about the Will Smith situation, I wouldn't have even known that it happened that weekend. And I think that says a lot.
Yeah.
I can't tell you most nominations. I like movies. I don't follow it super hard, but I feel like it's usually a pretty pop culture thing, and it just doesn't feel like that anymore. So
it's just
they got to work on their brand for sure. Will Smith's getting quote unquote canceled right now. He's having a struggle as a whole.
That's the other thing is that Netflix and a lot of those projects have been put on hold apparently with this Bad Boys 4, and so. I mean, I get it. People are trying to save face, I guess, but it's also like. I don't know. It's all a bit. I just mostly think the best thing that could happen is that him and Chris Rock need to publicly come out together and show that they're okay again. I think.
Yep, that's all they need.
And they just need to stop leaking shit about him and Jada.
Yeah, because more shit leaked about that too. And I was like, if y'all don't shut up, just shut up, stop talking. I never wanted to marry Will Smith. Shut up, stop talking.
It's not.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure it'll blow over eventually. I'm assuming it's gonna be a James Gunn situation where it's like, oh, we gotta spank him in front of everybody, and then we take him to the back and get him ice cream, and it's like, I mean, okay, sure.
Yeah, we'll see what other shit could happen from this week to week. I guess I don't know what else could happen. I think it feels starting to calm down, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know. I'm ready to hear about Kanye and Pete Davidson some more. Well, give me something else.
Let's go back to that.
At least that was funny.
Yeah. Speaking of just celebrities being idiots, we got to talk about Ezra Miller a little bit because, he's the Flash. He's about to be in this Fantastic Beasts movie, and or is he going to continue with the Flash? That's the question we have. Because he did some real dumb shit again. Brian, do you want to let us know what it was?
So. Oh gosh, Ezra Miller was arrested for disorderly conduct and harassment. I believe he was in Hawaii at the time that this happened, and he was at a karaoke bar, and with a woman that was singing, they decided to grab the microphone from the woman and then lunged at a man playing darts. I'm not really sure what turn of events kind of made this happen. I don't know if maybe Homegirl was just fucking his favorite song up, or what was happening. But something
just wanted to sing.
Something, maybe I've seen it happen before. I've been to a lot of karaoke bars in my life, and I have seen a girl basically punch another girl in the face just so she can hit that Britney Spears part. So maybe it was something like that might have happened. I don't know what the man playing darts had to do with it.
Right.
It was basically just a public meltdown. Just really, really awful stuff. Yeah, of course. They put a restraining order on them, and that was.
I mean, and the thing is, like, this is not his first issue when it comes to this. In 2020, there was a video that came out where he, you could see him
Oh, there was a
start to
video.
choke a woman. Oh yeah, there was
How
a
are there
video.
no charges filed when there was a video?
I
I just thought it was like a kind of rumor mill sort of situation.
No, there is a video you can see where he starts to choke a woman. Choke a woman. Yeah, and clearly he's got some things he needs to work in his life, but it's also just like, what are you doing, man?
It's just so
I hope
wild
you get
because
the
it
help.
sounds so just out of nowhere. It just
It
sounds,
sounds like a made up story.
you know what? Because usually when situations like that kind of happen in the world, it's usually something someone egged someone on or something like that. Like it seems like there's a valid, quote unquote, valid reason. Like at least I can understand what could have transpired for this to happen. But I've
Right.
never understood how just randomly singing karaoke could send someone into such a blind rage where they start fighting people and beating up people for playing darts. And it's just like, what is happening that just had you like? I assume alcohol was a main catalyst to this
probably.
situation, but it's like, what happened, man?
I don't. Yeah.
What happened
I
at this
don't know.
bar in Hawaii that just had you going off the rails?
I mean, then the other thing is this also came out apparently in the Rolling Stone that Warner Brothers and a lot of DC execs, after they heard about this, kind of had an emergency meeting to discuss whether or not Ezra is going to be the Flash or like continue to be a big franchise player in these tentpole movies. I mean, obviously he's the Flash, he's the main character, and also he's about to be in the Fantastic Beasts movie. He's a pretty major plot point in that movie from
Right.
what I saw in the first two. And then apparently, a source later on came out to say that there was no emergency meeting, but I think that's bullshit. I think they did have they had some kind of something probably.
You have to talk about it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not a good look to have your main face be out here beating up people. For doing karaoke. If the Flash is out here beating up people for doing karaoke, that's some villain shit. And we need to address that. It's been noted that this movie has already been in development hell because of COVID and other situating circumstances. This movie might never come out.
We're never gonna see a Flash movie.
We might.
We've been trying to see a Flash movie since like 2008. And now it was already delayed till next year, like a couple of weeks ago, and now it's like Ezra Miller has a lot of time right now to fuck up some more. I'm hoping he doesn't. But there's a chance that he could. I don't know.
We need the PR team to maybe keep a close eye, and maybe they can't leave their house anymore for a little bit.
Yeah,
because
just stay in there until the movie comes out, and then leave.
Then you can act an ass again.
They're gonna have to reboot the Flash as soon as he's gonna get one movie, and then they're gonna reboot the Flash again.
I would not be surprised at all. It's gonna be Robert Pattinson's The Flash.
That'd be so good. No, it's gonna be the kid that played Jacob or the werewolf boy from Twilight. They're just gonna get all the Twilight people.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. He could probably use a paycheck these days. I don't know what he's got going on.
Oh God! All right, last piece of news. Vin Diesel confirmed that Brie Larson has joined Fast and Furious 10. This one I did not see coming at all.
You know what I don't want to see? I've really enjoyed Fast and Furious' ability to really shoot a lot of actors' careers in a good direction, from rappers to Tyrese to wrestling stars. They've done a lot to make a lot of people a lot of money. I thought that was super cool. We have John Cena in there now. Like, John Cena is a whole ass actor now. I think The Rock kind of laid that pavement for him. Brie Larson don't need this.
Yeah, it is interesting that she is doing this movie.
She's gonna be, no offense, I like Brie Larson. I used to really like Brie Larson until I found how she's a little too white of a feminist for me. But I can only feel like she's gonna be incredibly boring in whatever she does in this.
Yeah,
that cast is so many charismatic people just on screen at one time that I just can't imagine her being able to keep up.
Right. I don't know. This cast already is too full. Like,
it's stacked. It's stacked.
Like, we already
ridiculous.
know Momoa's in it. He's gonna be the bad guy. Like, I don't know. We don't know if she's gonna be a good guy or a villain. I don't know.
Yeah, I wonder if she might be like maybe the second villain, like one of the, I don't want to say lackeys of Jason Momoa, but maybe like one of like the second in commands or something like that.
Maybe.
That seems like that would be an interesting role for her, because I don't know that she's ever done anything like that.
That would be cool, yeah.
But if they just make her another tech girl that just says little quippy stuff and explains the storyline to us, then I don't want
can't. They already have Charlize Theron in there. They can't have two of them.
They love doing that so many times. Whenever they add a new, especially female actor, they'll do the same thing where they'll just make them tech person number 8.
That's why it's like with Ludacris and
Yeah.
and then the girl from Game of Thrones whose name I can't remember. They're both everyone's a tech person now, basically.
Yeah. Someone's got to
I
drive
don't
the cars, guys. Come on.
Yeah, we'll see. This movie is gonna be fucking ridiculous. I bet you. I wouldn't be surprised if they split the 10th movie into 2 parts. It's gonna be Fast 10 Part 1 and Fast 10 Part 2.
It needs to be because the 9th movie was too damn long.
Yes,
if you guys
was.
are listening, who makes this movie? Sony? I don't know who directs this shit anymore.
Universal.
Universal. Please, for the love of God, this shit is campy. We do like it. I don't give a fuck about the lore. Cut that shit by at least 30 minutes. That movie was disgustingly long, and I fell asleep.
Yeah, it was too long.
Y'all are losing me now. Don't lose me now. We got to at least get a 13,
man.
14.
Oh my God. Could you imagine Fast 14?
I can, and that's the worst part.
Oh no.
Timothy Chalamet's got to be in there at some point. So we at least got to have another 2 or 3.
Timothy Chalamet's gonna be Paul Walker's son grown up.
if they're listening right now, they're writing this shit down. Like,
you went through a time machine.
I hate it.
Oh God, that's hilarious. Yeah, so we'll see. This movie's supposed to come out soonish, probably a year or 2.
More power to him.
Yeah, that's it. That is all the news today. Brian, shall we move on to our main topic of the week?
Let's go.
Oh boy, because here we are again. We are trapped in another fortress. We're back in anime again. We're back in big naked people again. This time we got a lot of fucking lore to discuss.
I want to kill every last one of them.
Because we are in the fortress of
Attack on Titan, season 2
Attack
and
on
3.
Titan.
Somehow it seems like 80 million things happen in 3, which kind of makes 2 kind of feel like it's not much anymore looking back.
I know. I was going through my notes. I was like, damn, fucking shit. A lot happened in 2, but damn, a lot happened in 3 in those last 5 episodes.
Because 3 is the biggest thing, because that's when you start to the veil comes off. We start revealing what the fuck this world was happening. What is happening in this world?
It's kind of bonkers that they just gave it away. I was very surprised, but I guess not, considering season 4 is, quote, the final season. I guess it does make sense for them to reveal the stuff. We'll get into spoilers in a second, but I guess pre-spoilers, I was surprised that it all just, I was like, the mystery's gone now. I mean,
Right.
Obviously there's probably little ones more, but I'm like, the biggest mystery is gone now.
Yeah.
So
that was the initial draw of the story for me, was just like trying to figure out, like, what is in that basement? Like, what?
Yeah.
What? Why do these big naked people exist? What is happening here? And then they were just like,
why
boom,
does
this
anything?
happens.
Yeah.
So at that point, you kind of feel like, oh, well, I guess it's wrapping up. It's not. It's not. And there's a lot more story to be told. Just you wait.
Oh boy. Yeah, I guess pre-spoilers, obviously, you're ahead of me. You've seen all of season 4 that they've released so far. Obviously, they just fucking announced.
I've now read the manga.
Oh, that's right.
I've gotten everything.
You got the whole thing. I forgot about that. Brian is like, fuck that. I can't wait another damn year. Fuck it.
Because I was going to do it anyway when they took this break between season 4, part 1 and part 2. Because I was just like, man, I can't wait a whole year. And then it got halfway through the year and I hadn't read it yet. So I was like, I can wait.
Right.
Not knowing that we were going to do final season part 3.5876. And we're still not done yet.
Oh my God.
So yeah, I was like, fuck it. I got to do it. I can't live like this anymore. You guys can't keep gaslighting me like this.
Yeah. So, but like for me,
yeah, what are your thoughts so far? Well, good, bad?
I mean, I love it. Yeah, I'm so into it. I mean, like you said on podcast, I want to record this so I can continue to watch, because I didn't want to start season 4 before recording this, just because I wanted to just have my only all of my thoughts based on these of the story I've known so far. Because yeah, I'm loving it. I'm loving the reveals. I do have some issues, but I'm kind of getting used to them as far as the plot, like where it's gone.
Getting used to anime.
I had to kind of get a little used to it, but I'm digging it. I do wonder if me shotgunning it as fast as I have has made me like it more. Just because I was able to get the story all at once, type of thing. I don't know.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised, honestly. Yeah.
I'm mostly mad that I now have to be amongst the sheep and wait a year for the ending to watch, at least. Yeah.
I mean, the good news is there is only 9 chapters they haven't covered so far or like 9. I guess chapters is a good way to put it. For the manga so far. So it's like there's not that much left.
Right.
But it still just sucks that we just haven't been able to finish it because everyone thought that this was going to be like solidified end.
Right.
And I think they thought so as well. I think the only reason it's not is because they're just like, people are getting tired. I mean, they're animating this shit fast as fuck to make a lot of this stuff. And I think they probably deserve a break. As much as I hate to have to wait, I will always be for people being treated civilly in the workplace.
And I hope that also means that like the end product is better because of it. So
exactly.
Yeah.
No, if you don't want to, if rushing it will, ruin its quality, then don't rush it. Like, it's fine.
Yeah, I agree. So with that, I would say look at the time codes for anything and everything. I forgot to say that earlier, for spoilers and whatnot. But let's just start with season 2 and try to go at least chronologically with the seasons. And then we'll go from there. But as far as season 2 goes, fuck, man. I so much happened. I guess probably the biggest thing for me in that season was just the fucking off the cuff Reiner and Bertold are the Titans that I've wondered who the fuck they are this whole just what the fuck.
I was like, hey, yo, bro, by the way, we're these fucking people that killed everybody. I was like, thought you were my friends.
I couldn't believe it because like I literally had to pause because it's like it's so well done in such a weirdly anticlimactic way where it's like everyone's walking along the wall and the two of them are just waiting there and they say, Aaron, come here real quick. And he's like, I want you to come with us. He's like, I'm the armor. He's the colossal. But it's like even the audio is done so low where I was just like, whoa, hold on. Did he just say what I thought he said? What? And so, yeah, that reveal was crazy.
They're double agents, dude.
And it's like, even in that season, they kind of dove into it. Like, it's kind of sad that it's almost like they're child soldiers. To me, at least, it seems. I don't know how far we've gotten in what you know, but like, it seems like they had no idea that when they were going to breach the wall from the very beginning of the show, that the Titans were going to just start eating people. It seemed because they're like, he's devouring him. Like, it seemed like
right.
I was like, oh, what the fuck?
You are correct there. I don't think, even though Reiner looks pretty old, no one in this show is like older than maybe like 18, 19, 20, right? Something like that. Outside of like Erwin, people like that,
right?
The commander, obviously the bald dudes. But outside of that, like, these are pretty young people that are. I mean, everyone's just trying to kind of
they're all children
fight to survive. Yeah, everyone's just trying to fight to survive is what it comes down to. And that's kind of your first part of learning about that. Like, yeah, they did know that they were going to be eating people, but I don't think they really were prepared for what this is going to look like. You know what I mean? Like, you can shoot a gun at targets for your entire life, but as soon as you shoot one at a human being, like that's different. It's a different feeling. And I think that's what's kind of happening here. He's like, holy fuck, we are murdering people that, I mean, we've been sleeping beside these people. We've trained beside these people.
Fought
I consider these people my friends. I shared, fucking beer with these people. And now I'm supposed to murder them? Like, that's wild.
I will say, though, man. Oh, yeah, it's but it's probably one of my issues with it is that when Aaron finds out, he feels so betrayed because he's like, these are my friends, yada, yada. Based off of season 1, I didn't get a big sense that they were as close as Aaron says they are.
No.
I'm like, I saw you guys like hang out in a group like twice.
Like, how many people were that graduated from this specific core? Like, I don't think you're that good friends with them. You probably saw them around. Like,
yeah. So that's
like that one dude from high school that you're like, oh yeah, man, we're pretty cool. Like, yeah, you've talked once in the past like 10 years. It's fine.
Yeah, that's probably one of my gripes when it comes to that. But like, still, just the reveal, only because I remember texting you guys after I found out, was like, fucking Bertold? I didn't know who the fuck Bertold was until that moment. I was like, who is this?
He's the lamest fucking bitch baby dude. He's always quiet, never makes eye contact with anybody, and he's the biggest fucking Titan.
He's the biggest fucker, man. Oh my, could not believe it.
He's the biggest dude in the entire, like, by far. Like, which you see in, is it this season that you actually seeing that? No, so you don't see that yet, but it's just funny just how much bigger he is than everyone else, and he turns out the most quiet motherfucker
He's
in the entire show.
It's insane. So yeah, I just mostly wanted to talk about that real quick. But going back, we get introduced to which I called before I knew what the name was. I called him Bigfoot Titan, but it's the Beast Titan
The
because
Beast Titan,
you
dude.
know, which I was like, okay, this motherfucker can talk. Okay, what is happening?
You look like motherfucking Optimus Prime from Beast Wars.
He does.
Exactly what I thought as soon as I saw him. The way he talked and his voice and everything. It's just like, yeah,
He's Optimus Primal.
we're doing Beast Wars now? Is this what's happening? Are there
Yeah.
going to be other animals? There going to be like a tiger? Like at that point, my mind was going all these different places on what the fuck was going on. Because I was like, why is he a weird monkey?
Yeah, it's
Why is he a
so.
weird orangutan?
That is one thing I wondered 'cause as we get later into the seasons. Like, do people get to pick their titans? Like, how? Like when they turn, like what makes them turn into weird shapes and stuff? You know,
Right.
it's so bizarre. Is it a personality thing? I don't understand it, but I was just like, that's interesting. But this guy, yeah, like we see early on, one that this guy can kind of tell the other titans what to do, which I was like, oh shit, like this is nuts. And this guy is like, obviously, because seems like there's a person in there, which at the end of the season you find out it's blonde Jesus looking guy. Um, and I was just like, oh, and this guy can like communicate. So they've got like tactics and techniques. This guy's throwing horses
Right.
like shot put games
Yeah,
and shit.
that's a really interesting thing too. We talked about that a little bit when it came to like Annie, and it's like you could tell that Annie was the female Titan because like
Mhm.
her stance, and she was like it wasn't just like a raging, monster fighting people. Like she had a fighting stance, like she was a video game character, like fucking Tekken. And then this dude, like even though he looks like a giant gorilla or a giant orangutan or something like that, he throws rocks like baseballs. And it's
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
why does this giant monstrosity know how to play baseball?
Yeah, it's like
Uh,
and this is going into season 3, but like he's talking about like I'm gonna throw the perfect game. I always like I'm like, how do you know rules to base? What why do you have
And that's
baseball
what's
terminology?
that's what's kind of cool about it, because now that you know that Reiner and Bearhalt and those people are like humans,
Yeah.
effectively, it's like we know that that's probably also a human in there. And well, we
Mhm.
know now officially that it's a human in there, and it's like
Yeah,
that's just some fucking guy.
some
So
dude,
yeah, he probably is a dude that likes baseball,
some
and
random
that
fucking.
comes into play.
It's so yeah, it's so interesting. Like
Right, because who are these people?
yeah,
Why? Where? Why? Who? Like the biggest reveal in this show is that there are things beyond this wall.
hmm
Um, People didn't know that humans existed outside of it. People didn't even know that water existed outside of there. You know what I mean? When you grew up that way, so it's like it's kind of like breaking out of the Matrix almost, where it's like, oh
yeah.
shit, there's
I've
the
been
whole
trapped
world
this
out
whole
here.
way. Yeah, this whole time.
Yeah, and no one knew why. I don't know if we talked about. Did they show the Titans in the wall at the end of the first season?
Yes.
Because this is when Hanj finds out that there are Titans in the wall, and that's when shit gets real. Of like now everyone knows that like
hmm
what is happening here? Why?
Well, like that's the thing is that they try to shush it. They keep it a shush because they well, for one thing, it seems like the church fucking knows everything. They got all these secrets, and Hanji's like, "Bitch, what the fuck do you know? Tell me now." And so like all of that Pastor Nick, the one that they get and try to get as much info out of him as they can, is like cover it up. Don't let the sunlight hit it, basically.
Mhm.
Because it moves. Is one thing that happens is fucker's alive in there. That
Yep.
motherfucker is
Mhm.
not dead.
Yep, correct.
So that was weird as fuck. And so they try to cover it up as much as possible. So not all of the public knows, at least in season 2 yet. Eventually, like they learn to know, obviously. But yeah, that was so weird, so
And
bizarre.
it's funny because you still don't really know why. You just know
Nope.
it's there.
No,
And everyone wants to keep it a secret. It's like, but why? Why are there Titans in the wall?
I don't know. I did want to give a nice shout out to Sasha. She gets a nice little solo episode almost where she goes back to her village to help
That
everything.
shit's so sad.
And her dad's alive in it. It's cool. They eventually find her, but her whole village just is gone. They left, but she finds a little girl there just staring at her mother being eaten by a Titan. Which I
Mhm.
forgot for 1 second. I was like, is that a man? Is that a cannibal? Because it's a really short, like almost normal human sized Titan. And I was like, what the fuck? What is happening?
You got eaten by Shaquille O'Neal. Like, not even.
Yeah, yeah. I was like,
wasn't even
this is really weird. So I love that they gave other characters like almost their whole solo episodes a lot of the time. And it's cool.
yeah, got to get some cool background stories so you can start to love these characters a little bit more. Because I mean, as supporting characters, they've been cute and sweet and stuff like that. I said queet. It's been a long day. But yeah, so to see like, yeah, she still has like some substance. Like all these people have a pretty tragic life
Yeah,
when it
man.
comes down to it. And even they're just trying to do that. Like you said, we're just doing their best to survive. Connie, homeboy gets his own episode as well. His life isn't quite as good as Sasha's because his mom.
They at first like they don't tell you, but now by now that seems to be his mom is that Titan.
What does she say? Something like "Welcome home, son," or something like that. She says something along the lines of that, and she like kind of whispers it. Because now we're learning that more and more Titans can actually speak.
Right.
Not so much these kinds like his mom, but like of course we know Aaron can speak. We've heard Beast Titan talk. It's fucking weird. Cart Titan can talk with his weird bussy. But yeah, homegirl's just stuck in the building, and her limbs didn't grow right, so she's just a big headed ass monster, just staring at him with huge eyes.
Creepy, incredibly terrifying to look at. I don't like it at all.
No, it's so dark and so sketchy. I can't. This show is so gross feeling. I always feel icky when I watch it.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot more gross body horror shit in these 2 seasons that I was just like, oh, god damn. Which, yeah, we'll get to the big one in season 3. But yeah, it's that happens. And like a lot of time goes by where Aaron, he can now harden. He's learned that ability to harden himself. And which is cool. I hate Aaron less, which is good considering he's the main character.
He's getting better. And that's the thing. All these characters always have to have a growth sequence. So you're usually going to hate them in the beginning because they're always green and untalented and stupid. But now he's starting to come into his own. And it's interesting to see his character arc. I think you're really going to enjoy that a lot as more and more seasons you get to watch.
Yeah, I'm excited. And like, I guess one of the biggest plots of season 2 was the whole crew with Krista and Amir and Reiner being trapped in that tower.
Yeah, this storyline kind of. Well, I'll see how you feel about it. I think you probably understand it at this point. I don't know if you had to look up at stuff about it, but like Amir's character specifically is. I don't really like their narrative choices with that and that character and her name specifically as well.
I still have questions about her that are unanswered that I need. That I still am confused whether or not the show gave me those answers, or if I'm still waiting for them.
Did. Okay, even rewatching like some of the stuff on it in the recap, I was like, I recall this being a very confusing part for me.
Yeah,
because especially around her character, and I think her importance is stated weirdly.
Yeah, because they do have. Well, for one thing, you find out she's a Titan. She has a big moment, which is dope because they're all on this tower where the Beast Titan's chucking rocks and all these Titans are about to kill them. And Amir makes the sacrifice where she jumps off the tower, cuts her hand, and turns into a Titan to help fend them off and save them all.
Because they gay, boy.
Yes, she loves Krista, which at that point her name is still Krista. Which as soon as I saw that and Amir was so like Krista's so important, I was like, is Krista Jesus? Is her name Christ A? Is that what that is? Is she the female Jesus? Is that why it's an
I didn't even make that connection. That's actually hilarious.
So I was like, And then later in season 3, I'm like, I'm kind of right. I'm kind of proud of that.
You're pretty right. It comes out that I think it comes out in this story that her name is actually Astoria.
Yeah.
And she has some sort of importance.
She's a pretty important person that Amir's dedicated her life to protecting. But yeah, and so the whole thing with Amir, they show like a bit of her background that again is still fuzzy, where was like a princess, or at least crowned a princess by these weird random people, and then they all get arrested and they get turned into the Titans. And obviously I know a little more about that based off season 3. But it's still a little fuzzy, considering she also said that she was a Titan trapped before she became a human again for 60 years.
Right, she was
strapped
just
down
running down the countryside for 60 years.
yeah.
Meets Reiner and Bearhalt and all of
And
them.
she eats one of their friends, who I'm assuming
Yeah,
was also a Titan.
right.
And that's how she ends up becoming a human, which I think that
Yeah,
was an incredible piece of irony.
right.
It's just so many different layers to the
And that's what's kind
storytelling.
of funny is a lot of times they'll give it to you in convoluted fashion, and then later they'll explain it. So if you
Right.
don't catch it the first time, you kind of end up getting it later because like that was the
Yes.
first time you kind of learn how Titans can become one of the more normal Titans, and then
Hmm.
also how Titan powers can be shifted to each other.
Which
And it comes
is
through eating each other.
that
Because why couldn't it be anything else?
was one of the moments where I was like, oh yeah, anime.
It's like, why can't we just high five? Why can't I just teach you, bro? Why I gotta eat your ass? Like, what the
Right.
fuck is happening here? And then that kind of leads into what's happening with that whole plan of like why Reiner and Bearhalt kind of want Eren to
Yeah.
follow them. They want to steal Eren. They did steal Eren.
Yeah, they want him, and you don't find out until the very end. Which, man, the last like two. I mean, the last 5 episodes of season 2 are also everything's so good. But like that moment when, so Eren, they have Eren. There was a big brawl with the Armored Titan and Eren. Eren almost kicks it. He almost wins. He's about to win, and Bertolt, the little bitch, basically chucks himself off the wall and crushes them all.
God, I hate that idiot.
But
like once you learn it's him, it just makes you just have so much more hate for the Colossal Titan. It's like, and they did that very purposefully to make the lamest character be like one of the cooler Titans.
It's such
just so you can just be that much angry that it's like it's this idiot
right.
of everyone is this fucking idiot.
I couldn't believe it. Yeah, so they get Eren, and Eren can't do anything because he's running around with no hands because he's still healing his hands, which I think is just the funniest imagery. Whenever a Titan is back to a human, but they got no limbs, it's just like they're
Right.
waiting. They gotta wait to recharge, and that's where you get a lot of different lore stuff with. It's the 4 of them. It's Reiner, Berthold, and Eren and Amir, and they're all kind of talking about the plan and how like that's where you kind of get that they seem to be like child soldiers, and this is a job for them, and they want to get back. They keep talking about going home. They want to just go home, get Eren and go home so that the job is done. Which is interesting because it's clearly like they're soldiers. They are just they're the biggest weapons that they got, which is why they're on the front lines basically. And then the big reveal, where again why they want Eren so bad, which is probably one of the coolest moments of the show so far, is Eren can fucking control other Titans. Like, what the shit? That was amazing. When he goes to punch again, because it's the Titan that ate his mom shows up, and he is just so full of anger and rage, and he can't turn into a Titan.
Do anything.
He can't do a
So
single
sad.
damn thing. So he just, with all his might and fury, he just punches it, hits its fist, and then a Titan leaps over his head, and then all of the Titans just devour it. Just
start beating.
Holy shit, man. I was like, what? What the fuck is going on? It was crazy.
New power unlocked.
Yeah, basically.
That's
And
what
it's
we
like,
learned, that he has an ability that is pretty important.
that's pretty damn, that's like that's a winnable, you can win anything power, you know? So yeah, and it's just like, you get a little more info as to like, why they want him, obviously, and they keep calling it the coordinate, which you'll learn more about in season 3. But yeah, that happens. Erwin loses an arm, which I will say I liked Irvin. I start to like him a lot more in these 2 seasons.
He's a badass.
He is.
Tends to not have a plan despite being a leader. He
wrote down on my notes,
loves some suicide missions.
Every single one of his plans is a gamble. None of his plans is
Right.
like, this is a good idea.
Every single time he talks about anything, he's like, we're all going to die, but we're going to do it for the people. And it's like, bro, that doesn't hype me up, man. Shut up.
He's got great speeches though, but the plans are just so bad. They're like, we're all going to die. All right. Yeah.
But what kind of plan can you have when there's a dude that's 135 meters tall that can also shoot out steam that burns people alive? Like, what do? We ride some horses and we do our best.
Yeah, very true.
No, he's a badass.
Yeah. No, I really enjoyed him. I love that even when his arm was being cut off and devoured, he was still like, keep going, fight, just go, go, go. I'm like, this dude's he's dope. I like this dude. Yeah. I do love that Levi does jack shit in this season 2. He doesn't do
No,
anything.
he doesn't do anything. It's a little bit of a disappointment
He
considering
showed up
season
at
1
the
makes you
very
like him so much.
yeah. He showed up in the last episode. I was like, oh yeah, I forgot you were in this show. Where were you been? Goddamn. Fucking healing your little tweaked ankle. Come on, man.
Right. All he did is hurt his ankle a little bit. Like, it wasn't even that. It didn't seem like it was that bad, but apparently, man was fucking out of commission.
Right. We get to see Aaron's mom eating again, so that's another 2 more times.
Yep.
Flashbacks.
They love reminding you that she got her ass ate.
It's really true. It's like, God damn, I'm so this poor woman. But oh, that's another thing. Right before Aaron unleashes his scream power, homeboy Hannes dies. He tries all his might to avenge the fact that he left Aaron's mom to die, and he gets eaten too. I was like, oh.
I mean, you knew he wasn't a good scout. Let's be real.
No. But I was like,
the first time you see that man, he's fucking wasted.
He's always drunk. Yeah, he's just like, yeah. It's like Sasha with food. Man, I love Sasha so much. She just wants to eat all the time. I love her so much.
She's such a fucking mood every single time. Oh man, yeah, no, that was pretty sad. But I think it was a good irony. Like the man did his best. He knew that he didn't have much left to live for anyway. He felt that guilt for so long that I think it was really eating him up inside. So he probably wasn't going to last much longer.
Yeah.
But this show does a lot of it. It's like, man, if you could have waited 3 more fucking seconds,
I know, right?
You could still be alive, dude. Like, goddamn.
Couple of things real quick about this in season 2 before we move on. There's a dope ass song that plays when Krista gives like a nice like speech to Amir and Krista starts to fight and she starts to kick ass. There's a dope ass bop of a song playing in the background. I was like,
I need to hear the
where
song.
did this come back? Like, just look, it's on the soundtrack. I ended up finding it. It's called Barricades. Yeah. I'm like, this is dope. This is a dope song.
I'll definitely look for that. I think Attack on Titan has great music.
Yeah, I mean, we haven't talked about the theme songs. I will say, season 2's opening and closing themes were my biggest disappointment so far. As I had watched them, I was like, oh, these just don't hit as hard. They just don't hit as hard. But I have grown to love season 2's opening theme so much.
Yeah, I think I don't remember not liking this one so much either.
Yeah, it's too short. There's a fuller version that's way better, but it's too short for the show. Yeah.
It's just the first one just hits so good that it's just like, no.
Yeah.
Now don't take this from me.
Even the second one in the first season, I like it a lot more now. Yeah. But that's pretty much all of the season 2, I will say.
Yeah. We met Jesus. Dude wears glasses, but then plays baseball. That doesn't make sense. For some reason, he gets much better eyesight. What if the orangutan had glasses on? Just like some fucking beast that's nonsense.
Either that or he just can't see. He's nearsighted. He's like, shit, they don't make glasses this big.
Let me move up here a little bit. Let me get a little close. I can't. Let me put my readers on.
Yeah, so that's basically season 2. It's yeah, I dug it. So season 3, fuck, a lot happened.
I'm about to say there's 2 parts of season 3. I don't know if it conveys that on whatever platform you watch this on, but this came out in 2 separate years.
It doesn't. When I went back and like looked up the dates of the episodes, I was like, oh shit. This is because I obviously the second theme song came in. I was like, I wonder if this is a different part. And I was like, people had to wait a year between these things.
Yeah, 2018 and 2019, boy.
I was like, that fucking sucks. Because part 1 ends right before they're about to go back and take back Shinganshina. They're about to go back there, and I'm like, damn, to wait a year for that sucks.
I will say that I love. This probably has some of my favorite fight scenes of the entire series.
Oh my God.
Part 1 of this. So I know that we talked a little bit about, because a lot of this gets a little more grounded because there's a lot more humans versus humans kind of stuff going on. But holy shit, we don't have to get 100% into it, but Levi and Mikasa are fucking badasses in this part of the season. Holy shit. They show that there's a reason they were probably top of both of their classes. Levi, of course, is very skilled and very I'm trying to think of the words for it. Of course, like he's been doing this for a bit at this point.
Right.
And Mikasa has just always been a badass since fucking childhood. She cried once, and then next thing you know, she just started murdering everybody.
Right. But also, like, you learn in this that, one, they're related.
Yeah. You hear Levi Ackerman, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah.
Then you learn about Kenny Ackerman, and you're like, wait a second.
Yeah. One, it's like, they introduced fucking Kenny the Ripper, which it's like, all right, okay. Kenny the Ripper. Right. All right. But he's Levi's uncle, and also they're related to Mikasa. And also that whole clan kind of has this gift, they say, which is why they're such fucking badasses, I guess, you know?
Yep.
But yeah, the two of them, there's a part in the second, in part 2 of season 3 with Levi that is amazing. When he just goes Titan to Titan is
Mhm.
fucking incredible, dude.
He makes it look so easy. Like,
Oh,
it's so funny how, like, everyone else has to try so hard to put down one Titan. This man is just like, "This is cakewalk." Oh, y'all are God.
yeah. Like he's like, how am I supposed to take down the Beast Titan? There's nothing around him. He's like, and everyone's like, are you looking? Are you see? I'm like, I see perfect. There's a lot of stuff you could swing from that. He's like, you want me to take down every Titan as I get to him? I was like, yeah, you can do it. Go, bitch. And he fucking does it. You know, like it's like if Levi, that's why I would give props to Levi. Is like he does what he says. Like he's like, yeah, I'm gonna kill the Beast Titan. He doesn't, but like not under his own fault. It's like, but
Oh,
he was
man.
there.
He hates the Beat Titan.
He fucking had it, dude.
Yeah. Didn't he rip him out of the fucking
Yeah.
Titan itself? Yeah, he wrecked that dude's shit. And then he was like, I think we lose. We're going to go ahead. We're going to head out.
Right.
It's like, fair. That
Yeah.
makes sense.
But going back to at least part 1, the first half, that's where, yeah, like you were saying, it's all the Kenny the Ripper and the human on human stuff, which I was not crazy about when it was first introduced, mostly because I was like, this is not the mystery I want to know about. Give me the Titan. I want to know more about that crap.
Right. They do that a lot in this show, where especially after a season end, you're like, okay, I can't wait to the first episode of the next season. They'll do something completely different.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I guess I'll wait a little longer while we hang out with the military police. Sure.
Yeah.
They have cool weapons. They have different. They don't have the swords like everyone else. They have these like guns,
The
odium
guns.
gear instead.
Yeah.
Which I thought was fairly interesting because they both shoot and also swing.
Yeah. So it's like
from the same barrel.
you
It
can
seems like, I don't know.
you can only shoot in the direction that you swing. So I was like,
Right.
that's a badly made weapon.
I guess you don't got to do as much with the military police, so maybe they didn't feel like they needed
Yeah.
all that swing
I
and
think
shit from
that might
the
be
hip.
why I was mostly like, I had to kind of grow to like it because I was like used to the more fantastical stuff and less of the weird industry like gun stuff like we're talking about.
Mhm.
So that kind of threw me for a loop for a second. Eventually, it started to settle in.
It starts to get a little steampunky.
Yeah.
And it only gets kind of more like that as more things get introduced. But yeah, I can definitely see how that was kind of weird. People start shooting guns again, and it's like, what the
Yeah.
fuck?
it was a little bizarre. But the main point of those people is like, yeah, the scouts they become wanted basically. What is it like? They think that it's like a big conspiracy, and they just
Mhm.
the church, not the church, but like the king, quote unquote, they wants them because they think they're a waste of time and they're fucking around with all the Titans, and they let Annie blow everything up and yada yada yada.
Like they're trying to get more money and shit like that. Being
Yeah,
corrupt.
but that
Yeah.
is where it started to get interesting. You learn more about Historia's past and who the fuck she actually is, and the whole Rice family stuff.
Yeah, we learned that she's of royal blood, but she is. Do you still call it a bastard child if it's a daughter? How does that work?
I mean, I wrote bastard in my notes, but I think so. I don't know though. Yeah, she's the chosen one. Basically, she's the rightful queen to the throne.
Sounds so ridiculous to say in a show like this, but that exists.
It really takes a turn.
Fucking Rod Rice, man, he's a piece of shit. That dude sucks.
Yeah, he really.
He had hired Kenny to literally kill these people because he's like, I don't want any strings attached. Like they gotta die. So they kill Historia's mom.
Yeah,
and they were gonna kill her. And then he was like, no, we'll just change your name.
Right. It's like that's
maybe not one of your best.
Which
your best
also, like,
ideas.
no offense to her mom, but like her mom, even like the shit she said to her right before she died was like, "I wish you'd never been born." I blah blah blah. I was like, God damn. And she's like,
I mean, she died because of it.
I know, no, I get it. Yeah, that's what's like, fuck, dude. Holy shit, her life sucks.
Yeah, it sure does.
And then the coup happens. That's what the scouts end up doing. Is they have a giant coup and they basically dismantle the government and their false king, who you find out was just asleep in his chair the whole time.
This shit gets very political in
Yeah.
a very weird way. We find out about what's his fucking name, Demo Reeves. He's just a shitty salesman.
Yeah.
And he was kind of like he was helping a lot with Rod Rice's like legacy and stuff like that. And his son was also like kind of a piece of shit, but not really.
Yeah.
That was a whole thing. They like chase a bunch of people into like a corner and get like all the people of the city to hang out
witness
there
it,
and then
yeah.
expose them. Yeah, that was a pretty interesting
That
thing.
was cool, yeah.
It felt a little goofy though. It felt kind of like I don't know, Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon kind of situation where it's like, and then the whole town saw you.
Yeah,
Idiot. Like,
and that, yeah.
Okay.
That's how they they get because they needed the people on their side to help support them, and so that's how they kind of dismantle that, and they slowly dismantle the government, and then Irvin once again. His plan is just a big gamble where everything could go wrong unless one thing happens and it goes
He's
right.
like, wait, guys. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to go to prison, get tortured for a long time. Hopefully in that time, you guys will be able to get everything straight, make sure everything's super cool. And then I can just have one cool one-liner. And it's like, what are you doing, dude?
Right.
what is happening? He's like, Hans, you're in charge now. What? What's going on?
Yeah. No, yeah, absolutely. And lucky for him, it fucking works. Like, but
Right.
I do love that line that from Pixis where he's like, yeah, if they didn't do what you said they would, I would have thrown your ass in jail. I would not have supported you. He's like, you're very lucky that they did exactly what you said they would do. and so, which is, yeah, they expose that the military police are corrupt, and so Pixis is like, fuck it, you guys are out, and they get who's the guy that they get in charge? Zachary or something like that. Primer Zachary. He's like he's another guy. He's the weird guy that. This was a weird moment where he tortures the people by shoving a tube in their ass and making them eat their own shit or something like that. I was like, this is
I don't remember
weird.
that at all. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's got like the dudes hanging upside down with a tube in their ass and it's connected to their own mouth or something. I was like, this is
Holy shit.
fucking sick, bro. What the fuck?
Yeah, the torture scenes are a little stressful for me too. It gets a little dark.
Yeah, so that's what happens with that. And then on the Rice family side, you learn a whole lot of lore with Historia about, and Aaron actually, about how his dad killed them all as a Titan. And it's like, what?
Holy shit.
The fuck is going on?
My dad might be a bad person.
I was just like, oh my God. Like, so yeah, like, to be fair, the Rice family have a really weird tradition of waiting for their children to become of a certain age, and then they eat their uncles to gain their Titan ability, which is the Titan ability that Aaron now has. Because his dad stole it.
His dad fucking took that shit, boy. Let's go. It's so funny. Grisha's story is so fucking interesting to me. And learning all that was super interesting. Like when you get to see Aaron being a little weird baby Titan and then eating his dad.
Which to me, I was like,
weird.
I guess like you learn that you have to eat them to get the power. So I guess his dad was dead, but just based on the shot, it's almost like you can see a limb of his father still hanging in the corner. So there's a part of me that's like, is his dad still alive? But then I'm like, probably not. his Aaron probably ate him. He's probably just ate him.
I was seeing as he's Attack Titan.
Right. Yeah. Which, yeah, all of that was so fascinating to learn about that Aaron. Yeah. Like, so all of Aaron's Titan stuff came after his mom died. After the Titans came, that's when Aaron became a Titan. And I was like, oh, how does Aaron not remember? And that's where this becomes even more anime with the whole wiping of memories and this family legacy of how the reason the Rices never are the way they are is because their ancestor, their first king, they turn into him sort of when they become the Titan or whatever. And that's what Rod Rice wanted Historia for, was he wanted her to become the next queen because she'd have the power. Only their blood can use that power of the scream, apparently, to control Titans. And so that's where I'm like, okay, I'll go with it. I'll go with this. It's fun.
It's convoluted as hell.
Yes.
I will tell you it's incredibly convoluted. And that's what's kind of annoying about it. You learn about how I think at this point you learn that the only reason that Aaron was able to even use that power is because he had touched Historia previously and just had a little bit of leftover residue of her spirit, I guess.
It's either that
allowed him to do it.
Or like at the end of season 3, he thinks it's because we didn't say this, but the Titan who ate his mom, who Aaron later unleashes all the Titans on, is of that same blood. You learn from Grisha Bast. She was Grisha's first wife.
Dana Fritz.
Dina, yeah.
Dina, something like that. Something with a D. She doesn't matter. She's got a stupid smile and dies.
So I think it's funny that she ate Grisha's future wife. She ate his other wife. She did that shit out of
irony.
spite, bro.
Honestly, we don't like that ex-wife shit.
Right. That's why Aaron thinks he's not sure if he can actually control the scream or if it's because he touched someone of that bloodline, and so now he's like he doesn't tell the government at the end of the third season because he's worried that of what they would do to Historia with that knowledge.
Right.
They might make her become a Titan, which I would be like, Aaron, that means that they would make her eat you. So who are you actually protecting here?
Right. At the end of the day, I just want to get my ass ate. Thank you.
Right. So that was all like a lot, and the whole with like Frida and Rod Rice, and then this whole with the liquids of injecting, and that's how you become a Titan thing is a bit of a stretch, especially considering I'm like, I guess they explain it that it has to be this exact procedure because if you just lick it like Rod Rice does, he licks it off the ground, then you become this weird
fucking monstrosity.
Oh God!
I mean, but then Aaron just eats a fucking mouthful of glass to get some of his shit. And I was like, "What's going on, dude? This is so weird." But yeah,
so weird.
He is disgusting. This is one of my least favorite parts of the show because it's just very gross.
Yes, when he stands up and it's the front of his face is just gone because he's been sliding on his face like a fucking idiot the whole time. Oh, it's
that
so
shit was
gross,
heavy, bro.
Yeah, that shit was fucking wild.
Yeah, my notes say gross Rod Rice Titan comes towards the wall.
Yeah, basically. But like we also see Aaron, he fucking hardened his whole body to save everyone in that cavern. He was able to like crystallize his entire body to protect everyone, which I thought was very cool. Obviously, he has to like Kamehameha himself screaming to do it, but I thought that was a cool level up for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so they have to combat this big Rod Rice fucking Titan, and I appreciate that it's a big teamwork thing where Aaron turns into a Titan. He chucks a barrel of like of gunpowder down his throat, blows it up.
Kobe.
And then fucking Historia gets the killing blow, which is exactly what she explains to Irvin, that I need to do this in order to get the people on my side if I'm going to be queen, basically. And she fucking does it. She kills her dad.
She's a badass.
Yeah, I loved it.
And then she's queen. And she has this cool little speech. Good for her.
They have very much a Star Wars medal ceremony after that battle.
I love it.
After that, that's kind of that big chunk of that.
That's basically all of part one.
Yeah.
Part two becomes when they want to
they're going back.
Shigashina.
And that is just nonstop. Holy fuck. Like one right after the other. That whole, it's not even a war. It's like an hour of a fight in total, I bet. Irvin, of course, gives a great speech. They fucking fly into battle. They're ready to, they're checking, searching everything. And then this is where we haven't talked about Armin a lot, but this is why I love Armin, man. Because he really is the fucking smartest dude. He's the one who's like,
got the plan, bro.
They're in the walls. Fucking check the walls. They're in the fucking walls. They're waiting. And that they do. And then there's Bertold and Reiner. And the fight's on, dude, after that. Like there's nonstop action after this point.
This is when they introduce another. I like how they keep introducing like weapons and stuff as the show goes on. Like I know the pistols are a little goofy, but it was just interesting to see a different aspect than just the swords. Well, this is where they bring out the thunder spears.
Yes.
That's when they learn, because they know the armor titan, they couldn't cut his nape, and they were like, well, let's find something that can do a little bit more damage there. And that's when they get those thunder spears, and those shits are dope.
That was dope. Yeah. And they just pinpoint in his neck. And that's like, all right, we got this. Let's do this shit. But yeah, everything. Funny enough, just watch the opening theme song to part 2, and that's kind of the whole second half of the season. It's like the whole battle's in that theme song.
Yeah. That's it gets goofy. I'm just kind of like, I feel like there's a lot of spoilers in here. Maybe I shouldn't be listening to the song too hard,
right?
Or watching the stuff go down there. But this is what I was talking about. With the Colossal Titan being so big, this was the thing that happened that made me laugh so much, is when Aaron does this goofy thing where he just tries to like attach to his leg like a little baby, the Colossal Titan's leg, and then you realize how big the Colossal Titan is. Then he just fucking bitch kicks him off into the wall.
He field goals his ass straight across.
It was peak fuck them kids energy.
Yeah, fucking amazing. Fucking amazing. Yeah.
I just had to point that part out because that shit made me laugh every single time.
Yeah, absolutely. I do love that. Yeah, like the Colossal's so big that it can't even find Aaron as a Titan. He's like trying to crouch behind buildings and hide. Oh, so funny. But yeah. So basically, everything's going great until it all goes terrible, and they're all fucking surrounded by the Beast Titan has a bunch of Titans around him, and then on the other side of the wall is the Colossal Titan and the Armor Titan, and it's like we are fucked.
Yeah. We got homeboy playing baseball over there, wrecking everybody in the club.
Oh,
I don't know how this man is so consistent with his shot, but he always hits everyone. That was so sad. I hated it.
Yeah, dude, like by the end of it, there are 9 scouts left. Everyone fucking dies, dude. Holy shit,
Yeah.
it's terrible. I guess like they have the whole Thunder Spear thing. Aaron fights the Armor Titan again. The Beast Titan still, yeah, like you said, just chucking shit. Um, I guess the biggest thing that happens, a lot happens at once. They charge the Beast Titan, all the scouts with Irvin. They all charge them all, giving Levi the opening he needs to try to take the Beast Titan down by Tarzaning his ass across Titan to Titan, which he does. And then all the other scouts die. And on the other side of the wall, fucking, I fell in love with Armin again in this moment where he makes the ultimate fucking sacrifice.
Knowing that you love Tails makes this make so much sense of why you've become increasingly in love with Armin as well. I think I'm feeling you like that kind of supporting character.
He deserves so much credit.
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because he was like the little baby for the longest time, and everyone thought he wasn't capable of anything. But it's like, no, this dude definitely has solidified his place in all of this for sure.
Especially with this moment where he goes head to head with the Colossal Titan, and he dies. Pretty much
burned fucking alive.
Pretty much, and he's just like, I need to hold on I can't give up. I have to hold on for a little longer. And we didn't know this at the time, but it's to give Aaron an opening. He crystallizes to trick the Colossal Titan, and they kill Bertold. Aaron fucking kills him.
Good. Fuck that idiot. God, that made me so happy. I hated that guy so bad.
Like, that shit blew my mind, dude. I was like, holy fuck. Especially after when you see Armin's body. Oh.
It's just crispy.
Oh, God, it is rough.
They Darth Vader that man.
Yeah. And then this is where I have to admit, I slightly was spoiled that Armin is the Colossal Titan. I made a mistake. I Googled, all I did was Google Armin. And the first autocorrect thing that came up was Colossal. And I was like, what the hell?
You can't Google this show. I've learned the hard way. That's how I got spoiled at the ending as well. Because I think I was just looking up Aaron or something like a random character. And then I was just like, oh, okay. Okay, dope. Thank you. Awesome.
I was so heartbroken. But then when you get the reveal that it's Bertold and Reiner, I was like, okay, maybe that was just a weird thing. And then this moment happens. And I've already learned that eating a Titan could save a person on the brink of death and blah, 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 blah. I was like,
right.
Oh, I bet you he's gonna fucking eat him. And so I'm upset because it's only slightly ruined the moment of who do they save?
Sacrificing. Oh yeah.
Because that's the thing that happens is you find out Irvin's on the brink of death. He's not actually dead though. And they have this moment, which we didn't talk about this at the end of part 1 in the credits. The credits cut out in a weirdly horrific but cool way, and it shows a teaser of Levi almost about to fight Aaron and Mikasa, and it's this moment that where they're deciding of who to save. That I was like, oh fuck. And so I was kind of pissed because it slightly took the tension out of it. Knowing like I obviously I bet you it's gonna be Armin that they're gonna save. But I think I'm like I would have chosen Armin. No offense to Irvin, but Armin's the man with the plan. Irvin's got plans, but his plans are his plans are a little sketchy. His plans always seem to work, luckily, but they be sketchy as hell.
It's not so much because of him, I feel like. It's because of the abilities of everyone else.
Exactly. He relies heavily on like he says, and I think the show does a good job, is that he's the devil. He's 100% selfish. He just wants to do this, not for humanity's sake. He doesn't give a fuck. He wants to find out this mystery based off his dad dying and his childhood of his dad having this theory that there is a bigger world, and his father died for that. So I thought he had a good character arc in the sense that his last act was a selfless one. He knew he was going to die. So that's
Yeah.
also where I was like, he can't. He's not. He's done. He can't. They're not.
They also
gonna
made that situation easy as well, because I'm pretty sure Erwin himself was like, "Nah, bro, don't do
Yeah,
that shit." Man.
yeah.
I think like hits it away or something. He's like, "Man, I want to die."
Yeah, and then Levi chooses. Levi makes the choice of saving Armin instead. Um, because I guess there's only one Titan miracle syringe left. So they, which I'm
Of
like,
course.
can't y'all like split that shit in half and like,
I feel like all you need is a sip, right?
what are y'all doing? I don't understand it. Y'all can deal with a Rod Rice type of abnormal and just throw Bertold's body in there.
The biggest thing is they would just be a mindless Titan if they got it. They have to eat someone to be a non-mindless Titan. Is there only one bear hole?
Just throw Bertold in their mouth.
But you're gonna split Berthold? They both become two medium-sized Titans.
How does that work? Do they both get the power?
That's true. Where does the power lie? In the nuts? In the head? Where is it?
Okay.
What part do I eat?
You reminded me of one thing that a small gripe that I still have with the show is this ability to shift your consciousness into specific parts of your body so that you can't die. So like that's how Reiner is able to survive being cut in the neck, is because he shifted all of his consciousness to his feet or some shit,
Right.
So it's like
it was so gross on the inside too, because then they show his body and it's like he has no face, his brain and eyeballs. I'm just like, why is this show so gross?
It's so gross. It's so gross.
For no reason.
Yeah.
Oh god.
But
they have a lot of plot armor in this show.
Literally, and actual armor. Yeah.
right.
But yeah, so it killed the tension of that, but it was still a very tense scene, because I was like, and is someone gonna die? Someone else, like, is Levi gonna die or anything like that? So it was still a tense scene. But also, funny enough, it, like you said, don't watch the openings, the credits too hard, because there's a moment in part 2's opening credits where it's Armin lying down and he opens his eye, or no, it's the Colossal Titan's face, and then it snaps to Armin opening his eyes, and I was like, okay. Okay.
It's like if you look a little hard, like every single time, you be like, shit, man.
There's pieces there, which I kind of like. I kind of like that it kind of gets the theory going. So it's kind of cool. So that's a big thing, and that Armin is now the new Colossal Titan. And they have a pretty fucking big weapon on their team now, if he can manage to, control it and hone it.
Right.
And then also I swear to God, that Armor Titan has a million lives. He gets away every goddamn time.
It seems like he always gets his ass kicked too. So it's not even like he's tearing shit up anymore. He's just always getting his ass beaten and he runs away. I'm like, God,
it's like a damn cat.
So bad.
He's got 9 lives. I swear to God.
Yeah, you start to hate Reiner more and more the more times you see that idiot.
Which I'm kind of upset by, because I'm a little sad that Bertold died, but I was mostly just like, damn, y'all couldn't just talk this shit out and like figure it out. Like, y'all had to fight, didn't y'all? I was like, damn it, you're so close. Like, Armin tried so hard to like just talk this shit out.
Bertold especially seems like he was pretty weak in his convictions. Where it's like, I feel like we probably could have convinced him to not be doing this.
Although Bertold probably has one of the funniest lines. I laughed out loud when he says it, because he takes a turn where he's just like, fuck it, I'm gonna be a Colossal Titan. We're doing this. Where he just says, as if like these are negotiating terms and it's fine, we can settle this. And he's like, there's only 2 things we want: Eren and the death of everyone else. And I'm like, that's not, you can't.
Oh, yes, of course. Yeah.
So I was just like,
fucking idiot, man.
That's not a negotiating. No deal, I say.
We're gonna say no on that. Thanks.
Yeah, so that was hilarious. But they win the battle, the Beast Titan with the fucking Cart Titan and the Armor Titan.
Win.
Right, they win, but they fucking lose a lot.
We haven't talked much about the Cart Titan, the most disgusting looking Titan outside of the Colossal Titan.
It's gross.
Why it got a stupid, weird, it looks like a platypus for some reason. I don't know why its face has to be that way.
I don't know.
And then his butt cheeks look weird. The whole thing is just disgusting. And all it does is carry shit.
Yeah,
it's literally the lamest.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not eating the Cart Titan.
I feel bad for whoever that is, because clearly that's also an intelligent, so there's a person in there, but it's just like, yeah, you got the short end of the straw.
Right. You got the female Titan, she's kicking shit. You got the armor Titan, he's got armor. And then I'm the guy that just carries shit. I'm just a big packing horse, basically.
Yeah. But yeah, so they all get away, and that's really kind of like the last you see of them. And then after that, we finally get to the basement. We finally get to the basement.
We've been holding on to that key for so long.
Oh my god, I do like the moment they find the door. They find the door and they're sitting there and like, this isn't the key for the door. What do we do? And I'm like, it's a wooden door. And Levi just
It's
kicks
fucking
it through. I'm like,
yeah.
what? Why are y'all freaking out about this?
There's no need for this key ever.
No.
This key was useless.
But then they do find with the drawer that the key needs, and inside it is books, which I was genuinely surprised by. And it's basically leads into we get a whole Grisha, Aaron's dad's origin story, basically. And this is where the metaphor completely disappears for me. I feel where it's like, yes, this is clearly, to me at least, lots of terrible Nazis and Jewish people being put in internment camps. They literally use the term internment.
Yep. Mm-hmm. That is what it comes down to. Literally, the soldiers' garb looks like Nazi Germany.
I mean, Grisha and his little sister even put like a band that I was like, is that a Star of David? Is that literally is the exact same thing?
It's doing the thing that I know Hideo Kojima likes to do a lot with his video games, where it's very much focused in a culture that these people mostly didn't. I mean, I guess they did, but like kind of didn't really go through. Which, I mean, that's perfectly fine to explore. Like, don't get me wrong, but it's just very interesting to pick that allegory so strongly. Especially considering it's like a Japanese-based anime. So I'm like, that's interesting that you guys chose to pick Nazi Germany.
It's very. I mean, this is also where I started to like. I've gotten used to it now, obviously, but at first I was like, I don't know how I'm gonna feel about this. That the fantasy element is gone now, and it's very much a real world thing. Like, we're in the real world. There's weird blimps, and it's very steampunk. I was like, I do not know how I feel about this. It was just very such a shift, and obviously purposeful. But it was like, this is weird. This is so weird.
I'm trying to think. There's a bad horror movie that does something like that, where it has to do with like being Amish. But you don't initially know it in the beginning. You're just like, why is everything so like, it feels like it's in present day, but then everything's so like archaic in what they use.
Is the village?
Is the village. Yeah, it must be the village. And then at the end you find out, you like see a car or something pass by. And you're like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
This whole time there's a fucking car. They're just in 2008.
Yeah.
And it's kind of like this too, where it's like, yeah, everyone's like living like very meager lives, farmland, farming and stuff like that. And you see a fucking blimp and it's like,
yep.
The fuck?
So weird. So yeah, you learn that Grisha as a boy, his fucking sister was eaten by a pack of dogs. It's fucking horrific. You don't see it, thank God, but it's still like, oh my God, this is fucking terrible. What the fuck have I just entered in this show? And so obviously,
no one has a good life, dude.
Oh, he grows up like hating, which they call the Marleyans. Those are the oppressors. And what I find interesting is as Grisha grows older and he meets Dina, who later dies. Grisha he discovers these books and the history of what you find out. This is the biggest mystery. You find out where the Titans come from. You find out why they're there, and you find out about the whole lore of the Eldian race, basically.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest thing was what was taught in schools, which, I mean, that truly happens. The winners of the war gets to tell the story.
Yeah.
And the story was very different than what those books were telling the Grisha. And that's kind of funny, growing up thinking that you're a demon, you're the worst, and you deserve to be persecuted and killed and stuff like that. And it's like, nah, that's actually not what happened.
Which I do like. There's a scene where he's first telling all of the people, like, this is the real history. Some guy's like, how do you know? Can you even read that? He's like, what do you mean? No, I can't. But like, it's clear as day. It's right there. So I'm like, I don't know if I believe you, man. I don't know which history is real at this point.
These motherfuckers over here reading. What's going on?
But yeah, like that, I remember having to pause like every like 5 seconds just because a new piece of info would be unleashed. I'm just like, hold on, I gotta process this for a second. Whoa.
I'm fine with it now, but when that season first came out, I was a little annoyed in how much information they dropped as quickly as they did.
Oh,
and
fuck.
And kind of like that whole, how convoluted it just got, where it's just like, we got different races of white adjacent people that are all different. Like, all of this started getting like, oh, so this is the kind of show it's turning into. That was the point that it hit for me, that I was like, Okay.
Because
I'm gonna have to get okay with this, or I'm not gonna enjoy the rest of the show.
exactly, yeah. Because they do. It's a lot of lore stuff. They talk about the followers of Ymir, which Ymir was like a woman who first encountered what at least the old history was the devil, and that's how they got the Titan power. But now it's like, no, she actually used the Titans for good, and they built cities and yada yada yada. And there was a big Titan war, and then the Marleyans won that war, which is why but they want to wipe out all of the Eldian race, and that's why the king he left his people and started a new society on the island of paradise, get it? And that is where all of our main characters live.
Yeah.
And all of the Titans are the same race of people that the Marleyans literally just use as like a prison, or just throw them as a punishment in exile, basically. And it's fucking horrible.
Yeah. And that's you'll learn about that little hometown that you got some Eldians in there as well. And it kind of sucks because it's like you got the free people, which are like, how free are they? Aaron and all of them,
Right.
on the island, and then you have the people that are still basically under Marleyan rule, and they're kind of brainwashed into thinking that they're doing the right thing because we're the good Eldians. You know what I mean? We're the people that didn't run from the slave owners when everyone ran for the, it's that kind of situation where it's
Right.
like, well, Massa treats me good, so I don't leave Massa.
Right.
And that's what's happening there. And that's the weird dichotomy that you're kind of getting into of like, damn, bro, all these people just want to live their life.
It's like everyone wants to live
their
their lives, but also kill everyone else.
Yeah, and I mean, is that too off of what the real world is like?
Right. And also, this is where it kind of annoying me was like, the Marleyans, they want the island because there's fossil fuels underneath it. I was like, this is really about fossil fuels? What? What?
You remember the Iraqi War? Come on.
I know. I'm just like, oh wow. I didn't know how real this was gonna get, I guess.
And that's what's so funny to me because it's like this feels like someone have played a lot of Hideo Kojima games and they're just like, I want to make something like that because this feels
Right.
so much like that. With so much conspiracy theory stuff that's like so very real world adjacent that it's just like this has to be on purpose. I'm still not even sure what's the purpose of the story they're trying to tell here, as far as allegories go. Because obviously it's a story that's already been told, it's something that actually happened in real life. But it's like, how does this relate to the world now, I guess?
Mm-hmm. And that's where I was kind of struggling, where I was like, I hope this doesn't turn into something that it's like, I by the end of it, I'm like, I've seen this before type of thing. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, that's been the big thing is the ending is what's had people kind of split on whether or not they think this is going to be a classic anime that's going to be beloved for all time, or if it's just going to flop.
Right.
So we'll be interested to see what happens there.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I thought it was all like, all of everything between like learning how the Titans are there to Grisha's whole origin story, how another piece of lore they dropped from Aaron Kruger, I'm assuming he names Aaron after this guy who basically let him be tortured his whole life so that he would have enough hate to go there and get the power to then go kill all the Marleyans in the mainland. It's like, holy shit, that's a lot. Because he also lets him eat him. Apparently, you only get 13 years once you become a Titan, or with the power.
That sounds familiar too. I feel like there's something else like that. Is it like a superhero movie or something where it's like you get a power but you die sooner?
I don't know.
And that was like the trade off. That sounds so familiar to me. I have to look it up. Yeah. I swear I've seen that somewhere before.
I don't know, but I was like, huh. So it basically, if this is true, Aaron's got 8 years left to live, and Armin now has 13 years to live, and it's like, well, fuck.
Okay. I mean, it's better than the 0 that he had when he was a baked potato on the fucking ground over there.
Yeah, I guess.
Bought him a few more years.
I guess, yeah. So and like just the fact that they were called, like the first person was called Amir makes me that much more intrigued on Amir's character, who we don't see again. We don't know if she's dead or alive, which I'm interested to see if that continues. And I'm just like, God, there's so much more mystery, even though the big mystery is over, but there's still such interesting things that I want to know more of.
I will tell you that season 4, you are not out of the woods when it comes to subverting expectations. That's for damn sure.
Oh boy!
This show is really good at having a lot of things that you can't just really figure out off cuff.
Right.
Uh,
I know. I'm just trying my best to like look at every little piece I'm like, what does that mean? What does that say? Like especially when they have like those memory flashes and you see little bits. I'm
uh,
like, what the fuck was that?
stop. What is that? What is that? What's going on in that scene? Okay. Next one. Oh, what is that?
Right.
No, I like how analytical you've chosen to be about it because I think that does make the show that much more compelling.
Yeah.
I do think I was missing a lot of stuff because it just wasn't. I don't know. Once I started getting the deep lore, my attention span started to drop a little bit with it. And that's
Yeah.
why season 3, the second half at least, wasn't necessarily my favorite. It was important,
Mhm.
incredibly important season.
Right.
But after the first part of season 1 with all those fights and all
Right.
that badass
Yeah.
shit, and then this, it was just like, here is deep lore.
Mhm.
Like,
And they just give it to you. Like Grisha's episode just starts and it's like,
yep.
oh, you're just telling us everything
Yeah.
now. This is so it was bizarre. It was
Sometimes
so,
you get kind of confused on the timeline of what's happening and when things are happening, and then that might also be purposefully done based on like we were talking about that plane of like all the memories kind of sit on a plane instead of
yeah.
chronological. So maybe they were playing on that now that I'm thinking and looking back on it. But yeah, sometimes
Right.
it would just happen to an episode. I'm like, who, what, where, what is happening?
Right. Because
Who are
there
these
is
people?
there is that moment where at the end of Grisha's like little story arc where Kruger, the man who saved his life, basically, he says, watch out for Mikasa and Armin, keep them safe or something like that. And he's like, who? And Kruger's like, I don't know who those people are. I don't know why I said that. And it's like, they're doing this weird shared memory experience with the Titans. And I'm like, I still have the theory that that is future Aaron, maybe. And there's some time travel shit or something. I don't know. Probably not, but it's this show. I could see it happening. To be honest,
That's a really interesting take, and I love that you caught that because that is a really weird thing where it's like they almost glance over it,
yeah,
very quickly, and you're just like, I'm sorry, what's up? And that kind of made me fuck up with the timeline too, where it's like, no, this is Grisha as a kid, like this
right,
isn't like almost thought it could have been like a flash forward at some point. So I was
right,
like, maybe this is a child of Aaron, and they just named him Grisha, and it's like, what is happening?
right.
What is going on?
Because there is also a thing with like the first episode of Grisha's story is called That Day. And it kind of calls back to the first episode of the show, That Day in 2000 years. And I always wondered what the in 2000 years part would like meant. I'm like, I feel like that's important. That so
I'm glad you're paying attention to the episode names as well.
yeah.
I would definitely say keep doing that, and you'll have some interesting takes from that because they definitely like to do some callbacks, and I think that's super cool.
Yeah. I'm constantly just like looking for clues because
Looking
like
for clues, dude. It's written very well. Like
Yeah.
I definitely have my criticisms, but like some of that stuff is like so it's not left field in a way that makes me feel like cheapened or like betrayed. Where it's like, oh, you're just doing bullshit. You know what I mean? It's like we talked
Right.
about like the beginning openings and stuff like that. It's like there's ways you can figure out what's going on if you're really looking.
Yeah.
And I like that they kind of give you that opportunity to do so.
Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
I don't know how.
They give you enough clues to kind of to tease you, and you could potentially figure out a lot of it on your own. But then they do like obviously like they like these big lore dumps. They give you all of the answers that you're looking for, but also give you so many more questions.
Right, like all the way down to like having like who are the Titans and stuff. You were like, how are these big ass Titans keep just randomly showing up? And it's like,
Yeah,
people.
they're just people that are
they're people that are in these walls already.
right. And it's like, oh my god. So it's like it's like they're fighting their own people, and it's horrible, dude. It's
Yeah.
it's rough. And I'm excited to see. And like, I guess the last moment of the season 3 is they get past the wall. They get to the sea. They find the coast, where the Marleyans would come and dump all the people and turn them into Titans. And it seems like season 4, they're gonna cross the sea. And I'm excited to see more of that. And I'm worried about Aaron. I will say already because his hair's growing a little longer. He's starting to sound a little more cryptic and weird as he's starting to get in the latter half of the season. And I'm assuming because of these weird memories that are happening in his head. And I'm just like, I worry for Aaron.
Yeah, I mean, this man went from the first episodes of talking about how he wanted to kill every single Titan that ever existed to finding out that he's a Titan, to finding out that his friends are Titans, to finding out that there's a whole other world outside the walls he's been lied to. And now he's got all these memories of Grisha and the shit that he did. And he's probably conflicted with that. His mom made his mom. His fake mom made his mom.
Right. I will also say, I think the show hasn't really told us yet, but I'm pretty sure it's like giving you enough clues to know that him and the Beast Titan are half brothers. Like that's Grisha's son. I'm like 99% sure that is Grisha's first son. So I'm like, that's an element I'm interested to see whenever that's gonna happen. And
That's stupid, weird Jesus.
yeah, and then the other thing is like back to Aaron, it's just his character arc. There's a moment that I really truly loved, and it happens within his memories because we didn't even talk about this. What's his name? Status or the old angry guy that trained them, where you find
Mhm.
out that he fucked with Aaron's gear so that he wanted him to fail because
Yep.
he always dealt with not being special in his own life, and he didn't want Grisha's son to be special because he loved Carla, Grisha's wife, who he married. I love that little element because in the flashbacks, Aaron realizes that because though Aaron has so much self hate. That boy has so much self hate. I feel so bad for him. He needs he needs to talk to someone.
Yeah.
He hates
Yeah.
himself and thinks he's a piece of shit and weak and not special. And so I love the moment that it stuck with him where his mom says, "My son is special because he was born." And that's it.
Oh.
And Aaron has that speech right before they're basically all about to die, and they're like need a motivational speech where he's like, "We're all special. We can fucking do this because we were all born." And I love that he's kind of getting past the self hate a bit and realizing maybe he is, but then it takes a big cut off where he's like, "Oh, maybe I don't have this scream power, and maybe it is just because I touched her." And I was like, "I'm gonna fail." Oh no, no! I was like, "No, no, move forward, move forward."
We don't need self doubt right now, man. We're about to all die. Please.
Right.
Oh, that's so good.
Man, yeah, I'm so excited to dive into this final season, parts 1 and 2.
I'm excited for you as well. Based on some of the things that you told me, I think because you've been looking at it a very good way, and picking out those context clues and things like that. And I think you're gonna see some things that you're definitely gonna be like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
No matter what, you're definitely you're gonna say
Yeah.
"Holy shit" in this next season.
I'm sure I am.
Multiple times.
Yeah.
Do you have any big thoughts of what's gonna happen next season? Which I know you said you think they're gonna go over the sea.
I think they're gonna go to the sea. I think I would imagine that a lot of season 4 as a whole is that conflict with the Marleyans. I think they're gonna go over there. They're gonna kind of assess and maybe we get new characters. I don't know what the end game is though. Is it them? Is it taking out the Marleyans, or is there more to it after that? As my big prediction. But also, I do think there will be a big conflict between Beast Titan and Aaron, or maybe that's the end all be all. I don't know, because also if that is Grisha's first son, that little boy is a brainwashed little bitch who gave his parents. He sold his parents out to the cops. He sold them
He's
out.
such a shit.
But he's also like 4. But
Yeah, you know how it goes.
if they do cross the sea, I will be interested to how I feel that they've now entered this more technological, quote unquote, real world, and how that will play into the show more.
It definitely feels like I don't know if you ever played the Fable games, but Fable 2 to Fable 3.
Mhm.
Fable 2 was very like, I don't know, fantasy heavy, and then Fable 3 went full steampunk.
Right.
And it was kind of like weird to see that like jump in the world of like, oh, well, I guess this is 100 years more advanced than that, but
Yeah.
felt weird after
Yeah.
playing Fable for so long. So that's what this kind of feels like, being in these 3 walls for 3 seasons, and then finally seeing this world. It's just like, oh, that's just fucking normal day.
Considering all of this has happened with like what, a year of these characters' lives, it's insane. It's insane. But yeah, R.I.P. Irvin. Levi's a badass still. I'm worried people are gonna start dying more. I guess more people. I guess people I care about.
What do you mean? Everyone's already dead.
Yeah, but people I actually care about now.
That's fair. That's fair.
I just need Potato Girl to not die, and I can live happily. We didn't talk about Hanji, but I was like, she better not be fucking dead, and she wasn't. Thank God.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Holy shit.
She gets a cool eye patch now. Like she goes from glasses to eye patch. She just never had good sight. Always bad sighted.
Does it show her wearing the eye patch over under her glasses?
Yes.
Because I think that shit's so fucking lame. I mean, I guess you still need to see through one eye, but like that looks so goofy.
Yeah, it's so yeah, man. I'm very excited to continue. I'm interested to see who comes back because I know that they still have a plot line with Annie to resolve. I know Annie's still in a weird crystal coma. And I'm waiting for that shit to come back.
You have to give me live updates. I'm very interested to see how you feel about this most recent season now that you're so close to being caught up.
Yeah, I'll have to let y'all know.
There's a lot to unpack there.
I'm going to be sad when I have to wait a year like the rest of the world.
No,
I thought I was going to be like perfectly timed with it.
We all did. No one knew this is what was going to happen.
Ay. So we'll see if part 3 leads to part 4, 5, 8, whatever.
God, I would be so mad if they didn't do a part 4 after all of this.
Oh my
There's
God.
really not that much left. So I'm pretty sure this last fight that's gonna happen is not gonna be that many episodes. And if it is, then fuck y'all. I can't do it anymore.
Right.
You can't draw this out anymore.
But that's it. That is Attack on Titan season 2 and 3. Thanks for joining me, Brian. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a great show. If you're listening to this, I don't know why you got yourself spoiled and you haven't seen it. Go watch it. I honestly will probably watch it again with the subs.
Yeah.
To be honest, yeah. Once I'm done with part 2, I'll probably go back through at least within the next year before part 3 comes out.
Right. You got time. Don't worry.
With that, should we move on to our final segment of the week?
Let's do it.
Which we like to call Free for All. Title pending. This is a segment, listeners, where we can kind of do whatever we want. We can talk about anything. We can recommend something. We can take a nap. We can talk about our day. Rant. Yeah, it's free for all. I can go first really quickly. Mine's just I rewatched a movie again that I really love. I hadn't seen in a while. I watched Logan.
You don't rewatch stuff.
I know.
You watch Logan.
I watched Logan. That movie. I love that movie, man. And I will admit, I'm not gonna spoil it, even though it's like a 5-year-old movie or whatever. I've watched that movie 4 times in my life, and I've cried every single time in that movie.
Really, it's a very good movie.
That
I will say
is a fantastic movie. If you haven't seen it, you should absolutely go see it. Yeah, so that was a lot of fun. Yeah, that's all. That's about me.
Nice. I watched a TV show. I also saw a movie, but we're going to talk about that later. 12 out of 10. Very good. But I also been watching in my world of watching just shit TV that sucks a whole lot. I talked. I guess it's been a couple months at this point. About a Netflix show that I've enjoyed called Love is Blind, and just how watching reality TV and just people being really fucking awful is hilarious, and also the most triggering shit on earth. They released another type of show, Nick Lachey and Vanessa Lachey again. This one is called The Ultimatum.
Oh boy!
Basically, this show is about there's 6 couples. One person each couple has basically given their partner an ultimatum of either you put a ring on it or I'm gonna find someone else. You know, healthy way to start a relationship, right? Best way to start a marriage is to try to force someone to do it. Love to see it. This show is to prove whether or not they should actually get married by doing none other than getting these 6 couples to go around and date each other, because that's a good thing that you should do.
Oh, no.
Basically, the experiment is you have some time, like I think a week, where you get to just meet the other people, see if they're compatible, and then you have to choose one person to move in with for 3 weeks and have that's not your partner, and have a trial marriage basically with that person.
What?
And then you spend 3 weeks with your partner again to see how they measure up, to see if this makes sense. I initially wasn't going to watch the show because it sounded pretty stupid to me. It sounded tame compared to Love is Blind, where people were getting married in like 3 days.
Right.
Oh, this did not let me down. Holy shit. Oh, no. Every single person on this show should be in the psych ward. No one here is mentally healthy. They don't deserve marriage. They also don't deserve fucking happiness. These people are unhinged.
Oh, no.
It is ridiculous.
Oh, God.
Light spoilers for like the first couple of episodes, just so you can kind of get a gist of how completely not okay this show is.
Right.
All these people are dating each other in the beginning in public, like with each other. So it's not like you get to like, oh, I'm going on dates with, Jeff's girlfriend and we're out at the club or something. Like, no, they're all in the same space. So these people are kissing each other and flirting and talking in front of each other most of these times. It gets to the point where they start having like group dates where they bring everybody together, and these people are like falling in love with each other.
Oh, no.
There is the episode where they pick who they want to start, like, go on their first trial, whatever with. Some people just crack. There are people crying and screaming at each other because they don't want someone to, like, I don't want you dating that guy. Look how fucking hot he is. Stuff like that. There was this one dude specifically. He was a pretty lame looking dude. His girlfriend was very pretty, definitely out of his league. He started to notice that, because you have to, if the person doesn't choose you and you choose them, you just don't get to hang out with them for 3 weeks. Like they'll just go with someone else. Okay. So people started to notice that, like, my choice picked someone else. My second choice picked someone else.
Oh, no.
I'm about to walk out of here with nobody.
Oh, no.
And that kind of sucks. So one dude, in like a crazy desperation attempt, it happens once he sees who his girlfriend's about to pick, because of course you had to pick someone different, and homeboy's hot. and he's not. So he's pissed.
Oh.
So as Homeboy starts picking her, this guy just basically runs around the table instantly, proposes directly on the spot. Like,
What?
he's like, there's no way you're spending 3 weeks with that motherfucker. You guys are gonna fuck, and I'm scared. Please marry me. And it's crazy because these people are completely not compatible.
Oh.
Homegirl doesn't want kids. He wants kids.
Oh,
He says it's a
no.
non-negotiable. Y'all can't get married.
Oh no.
You can't do it.
No.
But as soon as he saw pretty homeboy,
He's like, I got
I would
it.
like to pick Jessica. I just think she's a great person. I think we work really well together. He was like, where the fuck is my ring, bro? Where the fuck is my ring?
Oh my God, that's
and
amazing.
they called him out on it. Like, all the people on the show were like, bro, are you okay?
Oh no.
Like, that did not feel genuine. I don't think that you
actually want this.
you thought about this. Right. I just think you were scared because you think they're going to fuck.
Right.
Which I'm sure they would, because most of these people are, because they're all psychopaths.
Oh, this is
I love this show.
amazing.
I've binged it in like one day, and the ending comes out, I think, on next Wednesday.
Oh,
This
shit.
upcoming Wednesday. So when this episode comes out, I'll be definitely watching. Yes, I love this kind of stuff. These people are not okay.
Ugh, that's amazing. Fucking hell. I can't believe they got another one out there.
It's already got put up for a second season. It's already got bought for a second season before this show even came out.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so that's how good they thought the show was going to do, and they have every reason to believe that it's going to do well. Because
Wow.
no,
Oh man.
I love that we talk about how the LGBTQ plus community are the people that are ruining the sanctity of marriage and blah blah blah. But then they have TV shows like this where actual psychopaths are trying to get married.
Oh,
like,
these poor people.
oh my gosh, dude.
Oh man, they picked the. Ugh, that sucks. Oh,
I'm telling you, none of these people can communicate through a paper bag. They are the worst.
Oh, that's great, man. Yeah, you'll have to let us know if when they do a reunion episode, who flips out.
Yeah, I'm hoping there's just another straight villain like there was in the last one. They made Homeboy a Disney villain.
Oh God. That's great. Well, that's the show, everyone. Thank you for joining us. You can email us at thefortressof@gmail.com. Fortress spelled F-O-U-R. Feel free to email us any questions or feedback you have, or recommendations, or anything about that we could talk about in the future. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at The Fourtress of, and The Fourtress of YouTube channel. Tell your friends, tell your family, tell your grandma, tell your cat. Rate and review us 5 stars if you like, wherever you listen.
Boom. You can also follow me on Facebook.com/ITZ, by the way, or Instagram at ITZ_, by the way, or on Twitch.tv/bythewayx.
Nice. Thank you, Brian, for the art. Thank you, Alex, for the music. Thank you, Devin, for being here.
Sometimes.
When you can. And thank you, Jackie, for helping edit the podcast every week. Happy holidays, everyone. And put a coat on. It's cold out there. It is cold out there.
It was actually randomly cold. I went to a wedding, and it was quite nipply.
Oh, nipply's good.
Anywho.
Thanks, everyone. We'll see you here next week in another episode of The Fourtress of...